Marco Escareal, learn from his experience that change is a journey. Changing your bad habits will be long and hard. We need to keep calm and be more patient. Good morning, Dr. Marco.
Good
Welcome
morning,
to
Rebecca.
the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First, can you share with us your childhood story?
I grew up and I wanted to become a doctor. That was the very first thing that stuck with me since elementary. And I was able to do that. And I completed my medical schooling at the University of the Philippines. I thought that I would end up practicing my training as a physician. But circumstances changed and I ended up working in the corporate environment. And since then, I've been mostly involved in the private sector.
What changed you from a traditional doctor
Yes.
to a healthcare coach?
I also went through my own journey of transitioning from somebody who was not too well into somebody who had to struggle through, challenges at work, managing stress, changing bad habits and all that. So even though I was a physician, I unfortunately developed some not so nice health habits, and that caused me to fall into certain lifestyle diseases. And for many years, I was struggling against that. I'm happy to share with you that I've been able to change some of those conditions, reverse them. Now it's my turn to share what I went through by having myself coached back then. It's now my turn to help people through health and wellness coaching. Yeah.
Where you get that approach?
Oh, I had to study for sure. I also had to experience coaching myself. I had to do it. I had to coach some clients. But I really make it a point to learn new things. I've been gaining credential certifications as a health and wellness coach from various international organizations. And I want to bring that here to the Philippines. One day my dream is to develop a program where we can, certify health and wellness coaches. And to my mind, that's really going to help the healthcare environment here in our country.
How can we find a lifestyle that suits us?
That's a great question. So, the lifestyle that you choose is the word itself, as you've mentioned. It's really your choice. It's of your choosing. At the end of the day, you make the choice. How am I going to live my own life in the best way possible so that I become well?
You mentioned earlier that you were high blood. Where's that one?
High blood cholesterol and high blood pressure.
Cholesterol,
Yeah.
high blood pressure. So how you change that in a sense of, is it eating? What
Sure. Yeah.
What kind of system you suggest?
There are several areas that I wanted to change in my lifestyle. And of course, the very first
What did you change?
one is really the nutrition part.
Nutrition.
Yes. So how I ate, how I made sure that I get a balanced meal.
So what are the food that you eat?
Oh, it's very simple. I build my meals around fruits and vegetables,
Fruits and vegetables.
which are very high in antioxidants,
Okay.
which are anti-inflammatory. And if you don't take your antioxidants through a healthy serving of fruits and vegetables, I would say half of your plate 3 times a day should be made up of fruits and vegetables. If you don't take that, then how are you going to address the inflammation in your body? Now, that doesn't mean that you need to go full vegetarian. Of course, you would still need to have a balance. You still need to have the other food groups, carbohydrates, proteins, but to make sure that you manage it in such a way that you don't overeat. Right? So that's something that we also need to change in our culture, by the way, at the personal level and also on a society level. Right? Most people think that to manage your weight, lose your tummy and all that, you need to engage in something highly physical, enroll in a gym. Those are all very good, right? But to my mind, what's even more effective is that there's constant movement throughout the day. It's really having that sense of moving throughout the day and monitoring the steps that you take and making sure that you take the stairs instead of the elevator, and just having a lot of movement throughout the day. So I would say that those are the 2 basic things I changed. And I'm happy to share that after 6 months of following such a change in lifestyle, I was able to let go of the medicines that I was taking for those 2 diseases that I mentioned.
Wonderful. So do you believe in 8,000 steps per day?
Oh yeah, I do. I do. Here's the proof.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
track it. I use my Fitbit to track my steps. And you mentioned the magic number that I'm following.
How many?
It's 8,000.
So what's your advice for people who are diabetics or high blood, high cholesterol, so on?
But the reality is you can do something about it. And I was able to do that myself. Now I go around telling people you can reverse your hypertension, you can reverse high blood cholesterol, and even diabetes. I think that by taking hold of that responsibility for yourself, you can actually do a lot of good. First to yourself, and then spreading the good news to everyone.
How to achieve a less stressed life, especially kids?
First is developing that self-love first. I think maybe you'll agree with me that you can't give what you don't have.
Yes.
So taking care of yourself is a very important aspect of showing good example to your kids. Just to let you know, for example, at home I did not impose the same good habits I would say that I developed, but because the children and relatives would see that I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle and managing stress and all that, it had a positive impact on them. You'd like to teach not just kids, everyone, even people in the workplace, that stress is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, what I would share with people in my workshops and classes is that stress is actually a positive form of energy. It's not something that you should shy away from. I would even say you need to embrace it.
Yes.
And use that as a positive way to increase your performance, the way you're able to live your life.
Yes.
So that's the best way to handle stress.
Yes.
Stress is a reality of our life, but it's really how we respond to it.
Yes.
And use it to our advantage rather than pushing it away.
Exactly.
That's what's going to make it an advantage for us.
Wow, Healthy Nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Every success has its struggles. Every dream has its trials and tests. Listen to their stories, because if they did it, you can also be called self-made.